Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about the relationship between the human brain and the shopping cart. And what I'd like to start off by saying is that think of the human brain as divided into two logical sections, system 1 and system 2. System 1 is impulsive, it's very fast, and it kicks in pretty much instantaneously. System 2 is slow, it's methodical, it's effortful and deliberate. And whenever you are kind of making a big decision, you really want to use system 2. Unfortunately, of course, that almost never happens. System 1 kicks in so fast, we don't even realize it. We rationalize it by saying it's system 2, but it's truly system 1. So I want to talk today about what system 1 is, what system 2 is, and as marketers, what does that mean for us and what do we do about it? So for me, the whole thing started in 2010. I was running an experiment for a client, and this is the experiment. It's a $98 product. It was a high margin item for them, but it had a relatively low conversion rate. So we ran an A/B test. In the control group, 98 bucks, add to cart, 98 bucks. For the test group, 98 bucks, add to cart. We gave a $2 discount, but we didn't explain what the discount was and why we gave a discount. If system 2 was working, what we would have seen is a very small impact in conversion rates, but what we saw was a 20% lift in conversion rates, fully statistically significant. And what that means is that the unexpected savings of $2 was overriding the decision-making process. And so this is clear evidence that system 1 dominates the heck out of everything. And so the point is that over the last 10 years, I've developed a system of 7 techniques that we use to manipulate system 1, and I want to talk about those. By the way, I should mention that the examples over here are based on actual tests, but I'm going to illustrate based on made-up examples because obviously I can't share actual data. So getting to the story element, story is the emotions you evoke, and I'm going to show you the best ad of all time. So the best ad of all time is an old ad for Rolls-Royce. It says 60 miles an hour. The loudest noise in this Rolls-Royce comes from the electric clock. This is an excellent example, the best example of great storytelling. I have a 1987 Sears catalog over here, and for those of you who want to learn more about storytelling, you should read it. It's phenomenal. And so the next thing I want to talk about is trust. That's the next lever that we use. I don't have to talk to you guys too much about trust because I think you'll understand it, but trust essentially is talking about your return policy, your customer reviews, your awards, the standard stuff, but it is an important lever, and so it's important to acknowledge it. The third element I want to talk about is price. And the thing I want to say about price is that we misunderstand price to mean, discounts and things like that. It's really not it's not at all what I'm talking about. Price means to powerfully explain who you are and what you stand for. So in this test, we added a button called price explanation. When you click on it, we explain why we're the highest priced product in the world, not in the world, but in that category. We notice a 49% improvement in conversion rates. We give no discount whatsoever at all. And that's the whole point of justifying price. There's another example I'm going to show where when you land on the website, before you even see the product page, there's a banner that appears that says, what do you care more about, price, quality, or the combination between the both? And you'll find that almost everybody clicks the balance between the price and quality. And what this does is it primes you to become price insensitive. And so even before you go to the product page, you've now already told yourself, I care about quality, and it turns out that improves conversion rates as well. So this is another example. I want to talk about cognitive ease. 20% of the content on your website is driving 80% of value. Triple down on the 20% and forget the rest, and you'll automatically improve conversion rates. The next thing I want to talk about is novelty. Novelty is a design hook to kind of present information to people in a way that they didn't expect it, and that's how it works. So here they've got tiered pricing, and what we did was we broke it down into a graph. As you increase your quantity, the claw moves to show you what kind of and it's going to happen next screen, but the claw moves to show what price tier you're in. You'll see it move from that screen to the next screen, and this is there we go. As you increase the quantity, and this is an example of novelty. Now the problem with novelty is that it has a dark side, which is that as people start seeing, as consumers see the novelty element over and over again, it loses effectiveness. As competitors, use that same approach, it loses effectiveness. And so I'm going to show you guys, I'm sure you've seen these kind of ads. It says, if you want to get rid of the pop-up, it says, I don't want to save money, right? These were super effective 5 years ago. Nobody cares about them anymore. So the novelty effect kind of wears off if you don't use it effectively. The next thing I want to talk about on the next screen is another hook or another lever called play. And play means you're kind of having an interactive element to communicate to the user what makes you unique. And so here's an example of a company that makes an external controller for managing lights for billboards. This is a very, very boring homepage. And what we did was we made a change to it where they have an app for how the product works. So we put the app on the homepage. You can click it on and off, and when you do that, what it does is it turns the billboard on and off. And so we're using the element of play to communicate exactly what they do. I think the next element I'm going to talk about is serendipity. And serendipity is when you are able to pick up information or draw an inference about your user and then use that to communicate and market back to them. So here is an example from GelPro. You get to their cart page. We know you're in Virginia. We say, hey, did you know that in Virginia we've sold 91,000 Macs? And so this is an example of serendipity. And then the final thing I want to say is that, there's another example of serendipity. It happened when I was on Zazzle.com, and I happened to be there on a Wednesday. And when I got to their homepage, I saw a banner that said, you have a special promo, it's a midweek promo, and I was like, God damn, I'm so lucky I happen to be here on a Wednesday, right? And then I go back on a Thursday, and I find that they have a totally different promo, but the same amount. I go on a Monday, the same damn promo, right? So this is an example of serendipity as well. And the final example I want to share with you guys is when you combined elements. So here we're going to see an example where play and serendipity is combined. We're asking, guess what percentage? That's an example of play. You click on reveal answer, and when we reveal the answer, we use a geolocation, in this case Michigan, to communicate a message that relates to your geolocation. So those are the examples I have. I'm done.